That's right. It is the Corona Cero post-show here at the Mayo Rip Curl Pro Portugal. Barron Mamiya coming out of the final heat of the day and into the round of 16. We called it off for the day after that round of 32. Onshore winds coming through. Crowd's still sticking around. We're having a good time. Enjoy a Corona Cero, 100% natural ingredients and 0% ABV. I'm Kaipo Guerrero. This is Jesse Mendez. That's Mitchell Salazar. Jesse, got another round done. It was pretty exciting with the overlapping heat format.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. For the fans, obviously for the surfers, sometimes they get a bit bummed because they get in a wrong rotation to it. But for us, it's very exciting. We have waves ridden all the time.
What did you think about today?
Well, plenty of waves ridden, as Jesse was mentioning. I thought there were a lot of upsets, personally, and we had one of the major ones. Two-time champ Griffin Colapinto, he's out, but Marco Mignot had his best performance ever.
We're going to get into that in this Corona Cero post-show, but let's start off with taking a look at heat number 10. Was an interesting heat where we saw a rookie, Joel Vaughan, come through, and Joel, under some trying conditions, was victorious in that heat.
Yeah, and I mean, if you put it on paper, obviously you have a guy like Ramsey that is fired up to see conditions like this, chunky, very heavy conditions. And you see him starting off very well right here, very up and vertical. He likes that wave, actually. He gets fired up. But it was all about this guy just identifying the cleaner walls that gave him multiple sections and just being creative and looking flowy.
Mitchell, we got to talk. We had some time with Joel's dad, Huey, and this kid's been a project ever since he was a very young kid to become the outstanding surfer that he is.
Yeah, and with a brand new sponsor, too, riding with O'Neill now, and of course, coming from the High Performance Institute in Surfing Australia, doing some great work with Jay Thompson, and overall, probably one of the best structured heats he's ever surfed out of a CT career. Short one so far. Major win against the guy who made the quarters last year at this event, Kaipo.
Yeah, Joel Vaughan, one of the rookie class. That's what you want as a result, Jesse, as a rookie to come through those big heats and get to the pointy end of the draw.
And let me talk about also qualification. We're still a bit far, but this is a very important match. You're going against someone that it's probably going to be in that battle as well. So if you take over, it's like a double win. You take someone out that could potentially take you out in a few events to go.
I like that a lot, Jesse, because it is the race for the cut. Actually, we're at stop number 3.
This is it.
It actually begins right here because people are realizing, hey, I have one throwaway. I may have 2 throwaways. People are doing the math. It's getting really real.
Some people have 3 throwaways already.
Yes, that is true.
And heading into the Osleg, especially, those events are dominated by usual suspects most of the time, Kipes.
Yeah, great point, Mitchell. Let's go to the last heat winner of the day, on to the round of 16. He's number 2 in the rankings. I call him the prodigy, Barron Mamiya. Barron's with another guy I call the Waz.
Thank you very much, Kaipo. Yeah, I mean, you've had a great year so far, winning pipe and enjoying the success. But in that heat right there, you had a little bit of a challenge. You broke your board, but it kept working.
Yeah, my first wave, I got like a 5-7, I think, or something. I did 2 turns, and then my next wave, I pulled into a barrel, and I started to drive through it, and then I fell. And then I paddled back out. I didn't think anything of it. And then my next wave I stood up on was like a right, and I did 2 turns, and I felt this like weird thing in my board, and my board was buckled. When I kicked out, I looked at it, I was like, oh no, it's buckled. And I was so far down the beach, and I was like, and I had priority, and I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna wait and see what happens. Like, if a good wave comes, I'm gonna surf it. If it's fine, then I'm just gonna keep surfing, because I didn't want to come in and run down the beach, then paddle back out. It was like a full kind of mission. So I just I'm just gonna keep surfing the heat, and just whatever happens, happens. And yeah, I got another score, and I kind of just sat there with him the rest of the heat.
The CI board's working so good, broken they work. That's epic. Well, it's great to see you, advancing on here in your mind. I know you don't ever want to get too far in front of yourself, but there's always the real reason of the tour is to win a world title.
Yeah, of course. In the past, I've started very, very strong. Obviously last year I won pipe too, and I started, world number 1, and then I just put all these crazy expectations. The year I qualified as a wild card, I was #1 in the world here too, and I just put all these crazy expectations like this and that, and just started to think way too far down the line. And you know, I think now I'm just kind of, you know, I don't have any expectations. I'm just focused on my surfing, and whatever happens is gonna happen. You know, I really like surfing, so I just want to keep surfing and have fun, and that's what I'm doing it for. You know, I'm not, you know, obviously we're trying to win world titles. Everyone is, you know. If you're on this tour, you're not trying to win world titles, then what are you doing? But I just love surfing, and I just want to get better and have fun.
Well, we love watching you mature on tour. We can't wait to see you back here.
Thank you.
Barron Mamiya on to the round of 16. One of the exciting clashes. We're going to highlight some clashes right now. One, Mitchell, you were alluding to at the beginning of this post-show, was someone from Salida, Mexico. He's a rookie on tour, and he took down a big name. I'm talking about Marco Mignot.
Yeah, and you know, the high is obviously going to be there for a day or two, depending on when we restart the competition. Once again, props to Griffin. He surfed his heart out in this heat at a 6.8 and a 6.5. 13.3 heat total and still lost, and by today's standards, that was very solid, Kipes.
Jesse, a two-time champ in the way of Griffin Colapinto. That's a big challenge for someone like Marco.
And you mentioned about the upsets today, but this is the type of condition that it's ideal for a smaller name to take out a big guy, because when you're going against them in point breaks that things are more predictable, they're just so good at. Here you can kind of, you know, apply some mistakes to their repertoire and then just come up with the Hail Mary of an air and get an 8-point ride and put Griffin in a tough position. So this is a tough start so far for Griff.
Yeah, and then having kind of the magic air in the toolbox right here, Mitchell.
That was a huge wave too, especially when you consider how shallow it is, how steep that section is, Kaipo. Eminem brought out the best in himself today.
I already like that he has his own personal claim, and his support squad went bananas on the beach. There's Dad.
Well, they should be so proud. It's so hard to beat big names like that. Like, it's almost like winning an event. For a guy like him, rookie on tour, to take him down, Griffin.
In a necessary moment, as you were alluding to, Kaipo, the cut line really starts right here at event number 3.
Yeah, so tough one for Griffin Colapinto. He would have made most of the heats today with that 13.3 heat total. So that's just a tough break in the road for Colapinto, but some inspiration for Marco.
Hey, sometimes you're making heats, being lucky, and sometimes you're losing heat surfing very well. That happened to Julian Wilson a few years back. He started with the 3rd and 17s all the way to the end, and everyone's like, what's happening? Hey, it's just a matter of time. Like, it's better for you to be losing heats, surfing very well and making smart decisions than somehow squeezing through lucky heats, because that's when you're going to the wrong side. So for Griffin, it's just a matter of time. He's going to get
eventually it'll
back.
happen.
Yeah, it would happen.
I like the mindset right there. Well, we talked a lot about the men right now, because today was all about the men's, but on the women's side of stuff, you guys, we're all the way to the semifinals for the women. Let's take a look at the bracket with just 4 remaining. Your thoughts, Jesse?
I mean, it's very tricky. I feel like we're going to have a winner from the bottom side of things, Aaron and Gabriella Bryan. It's hard to predict as well because we don't know how the conditions are going to be, but those surfers have been on form the whole time, and I think it's time for them to win an event, I think.
All 4 of these women have already won an event too.
Yeah.
I think that's really important to mention, because Erin Brooks has done it as a wild card. Gabby Bryan has multiple years of experience now on the Championship Tour. And I'd say semi-1, we could potentially see our world champion this year out of that semifinal right there. Caroline and Molly, they're both surfing that way, Kipes.
I think any 4 of those women can go on to win a world title. So that's going to be something really to look forward to for the women's semifinal. There's a lot going on. You can see the vendor village and all the activations. And one thing that keeps it really cool in the activation, of course, is Yeti, because Yeti keeps everything cool. We got AJ McCord down there at the Yeti Center.
This has been an incredibly popular place down here at the activations at Supertubos. We are in the Yeti store, and of course, every event they've got this sick customized option for you. So you can come on down, get your customized option, customize it even further. As you can see, they're talking about all the things that you can add to your Yetis, and a lot of different sizes, a lot of different styles. And what's really cool about what Yeti is doing here in Peniche is they're actually giving money back to the Peniche Surfing Club. So everything made here at Supertubos is going to stay in the community, trying to build up the next generation of young Portuguese surfers. So come on down, make sure you get your Yeti, and it's not just the tumblers and the drinkware, it's actually everything that you see. So come on down, stock on up. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, Yeti, one of the major contributors to professional surfing. And professional surfing, one thing is we have an ever-changing playing field that we have to pay attention to. And when we pay attention to that playing field, a lot of question marks, guys. But Surfline, they got the answers for us, Jesse. Let's see what's on the radar with our friends at Surfline.
I mean, we have lack of swell. It's not going to be the problem with this event. The problem is we just have a big storm coming in with some south winds, which is not favorable for us. But maybe on the long range, we might see things changing up a little bit, and maybe the weekend we could get some cleaner conditions.
Yeah, look at this. Pretty tattered and giant for the next few days. But the back end, Mitchell, that forecast is improving.
And luckily for us, this is a mobile location too. We can definitely opt out and see different locations here in Peniche. I do think though, several ladies are coming our way just to how the wind is looking, Kaipo. I think we're gonna have plenty of surfs during the free surf sessions close to our hotel though.
Nice. We're going to get some surf, some pastel de natas, maybe enjoy some Corona Ceros as well.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
Get some good food while we're on the way too. Our Frango place over there is still open this afternoon. We gotta head over there before it starts getting too crowded.
Love you, Mitch. All right, you know what, Mitch, I'm going to let you lead off because now we're going to celebrate some of the top performances of the day. It's time for our top 5 moments. It's all about the top performers, and we're going to start here with a good friend of yours, Mitch, Kanoa Igarashi.
Yeah, he definitely looked in form in the back end of this heat. Matt McGillivray had a solid start to this one, something close to a 6-point ride. And then the body language, the confidence that Kanoa always brings to the table, especially in those clutch situations. Kaipo definitely seemed like he was on one this afternoon with a major victory against a rival that he actually surfs against quite a bit, McGillivray. So this is a big win considering that he needs to get things going, looking for a second event win at the CT level, Kaipo.
Fans love him too. Kanoa Igarashi. Number 4, we're talking about Joel Vaughan, the rookie.
I mean, so smooth. I was actually surprised on how much power this kid carries. Like, I was knowing him so much for the air game, but look at those turns, just beautifully timing. Not moving the board extra than he needed, just letting the board glide and let the board do the work. That board looks like a blade under his foot. And good surfing from Joel Vaughan right there.
Number 3, well, we expected this from a 2-time world champ, Filipe Toledo, Mitch.
Yeah, and once again, underestimated and probably underappreciated going left too. The kid rips, obviously 2 world championships, a former event winner right here, Kaipo. Seemed like he was on, you know, the right waves at the right time, and especially at the beginning of the heat, had a good flow with the ocean. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Phil, flying under the radar so far.
Yeah, that's what we expected. Brazilian pride on the beach for Filipe Toledo. Oh no, number 2, it's Italo.
Man, super funny. Like, so far in this event, he's been starting off the heats kind of on a slower note, you know? Like, mostly with the conditions, we expect him to just come out of the gates swinging. But right there, as soon as the heat started, like with Berardi, he get that wave, massive air, almost like comes unbucked because the board, he's so extended and far from the board, somehow gets back in and finish it off strong with 2 nice turns right there.
Number 1, Marco Mignot.
Yeah, arriba y viva Mexico! You know what we're talking about with Sailita up there in the water, representing France, but probably also representing Mexico. Biggest career win so far in his CT tenure, and 3 events in Kaipo, at least securing himself a 9th place finish here in Peniche.
Yeah, solid stuff from the rookie. That's what we like to see. And great emotion and passion on the beach. It's a collective energy.
It's contagious too, it's great.
Yeah, it sure is. Well, you know what, you guys? Thank you, Mitchell. Of course, thank you, Mitchell, and we'll find some frango. Thank you.
We make sure we'll feed you some frangos.
Hey, I need my franguinho here.
Thank you, Jesse, as always. Hey, you guys, we are going to be off for a couple of days, so check worldsurfleague.com for more updates and enjoy your Corona Cero and enjoy the end of day highlights. Cheers and aloha.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.